Hello and welcome back to Fortress Festival 2024 for Devlog, Devolution magazine. And I'm here with the lead singer of the Infernal Sea. How are you doing, Dean?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, very good indeed, very good. Last time I saw you, it was just on the build-up to your magnificent album coming out. How's it been since then?
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, we had quite a few key shows. We did an album release in London and in Manchester as well, which were really, really good.
Yeah.
Like really well received and just great crowd reactions. And the traction's been going up since then. But album's been doing very well, getting rave reviews. So yeah, can't complain.
There definitely seems to be some traction going on, especially, I mean, the whole feeling of the album, especially in the wake of other bands such as Green Lung, sort of like celebrating Britishness and that sort of Albion thing. Yeah, it seems all very apt that there's a lot of very English stuff going on at the moment. And you guys were the first that I heard, you know, who are, especially with the Witchfinder theme and all that. So do you think that's captured everyone's imagination?
I hope so. I mean, it's definitely been well received. And, you know, like I say, with the reviews, people are really picking up on this whole Witchfinder stuff. I think witchcraft as well is quite a popular sort of historical theme for people to pick up on. So I think it's been right for us, and it's helped, you know, us reach more people because of that. Maybe just more people are interested in witchcraft, but this country is rife with the history, obviously with the Matthew Hopkins and the Witchfinder General himself. So it just seemed the right logical thing for us to do, really.
Absolutely. And I think black metal as a medium for storytelling is very effective. Like this weekend, we've got Black Braid playing here, who's telling just tales of, like, you know, injustice in America, you know, with the Native Americans. And this is a tale from England, the witch finding, you know, and that's one of the great injustices in this country. We've got many at the moment. But yeah, do you think like black metal in particular is a great medium for that kind of thing?
I think so. It adds a lot of weight, doesn't it? I think, you know, because the music is aggressive and the imagery is aggressive, and then you add this, you know, these realistic events as your lyrical subject, then it just adds more weight to them. I think just makes them more impactful, more powerful, because, you know, these things happened or are happening, you know, and even the things that were happening, you know, that we sing about back in the day are still happening in some shape or form around the world.
Indeed.
So it's, you know, it's making people aware that this isn't a glorification of, you know, witchcraft and the Witchfinder General. It's a statement to say, well, this shit is still happening.
Yeah, and these aren't fairy tales.
No.
And, you know, when in this day and age, when you hear of bands being sent to prison in Iran for playing heavy metal, you know, there's still persecution. And yes, I think black metal is, as I say, such a great medium to get these stories across, because there is so much drama in the music as well.
Definitely.
And it can turn on a knife point from being brutal to being beautiful as well.
Yeah.
So it's got all of the drama and the theatre that you need.
I think that's why, you know, black metal has been such a mainstay since the 90s, because it can literally take any shape or form, and it is an expression, you know, of many things, and I think that's very important to the evolve, you know, for the evolution of the genre itself. I think that's why it still sits there, you know, making waves, sort of like what's the word? Like it's kind of sits underneath all the trends that come and go. You know, death metal comes and goes, you know, thrash comes and goes, hardcore comes and goes. You know, they stick around for 2 or 3 years and it disappears for a while, comes back again. But black metal, it just sits there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's good. You know, that just is a testament to the music itself.
Absolutely. And I was doing an interview with Hellbutcher from Niflheim recently, and it occurred to me, just as I was doing it, how long dark metal, before it was even like new wave of black metal or anything like that, had been part of my life. And like, it's like the first time I heard Bathory would have been Blood, Fire, Death. And I was thinking that, yes, it is a constant. It's never really gone away, you know?
I don't think it will. Because it keeps evolving, but it doesn't change too drastically that it sort of breaks away from its original shape and form. It's still what it is as a whole, is black metal, but it hasn't gone into say new metal realms, for example,
Yeah,
and
sure.
really gone to the far extremes. It's pulling in all different types of genres and influences, but it's still black metal. It's a melting pot, and it's evolving at its own pace, but it's still relevant and
absolutely
hasn't destroyed itself like a lot of genres have.
Yeah, and it's also permeates in places that you wouldn't expect it. Like at Arctangent, you're very likely to bump into some black metal at some point in the day. But it's presented in so many different ways. It's such a sort of I think it maybe is something to do with the primal nature of the music as well. That it's transferable.
I think, like you say with Arctangent, I mean, you've got Psy and Ishan, and you've got Sun's Journey Through the Night and Underdark all playing Arctangent. And then, for example, Cannibal Corpse had Dark Funeral on their tour. And it was rare to see a death metal tour with a black metal support. And I think that's becoming more of a thing now because people realise that actually the crossover is the same. Death metal kids listen. Well, I mean, I've got death metal t-shirt on. Death metal kids listen to like black metal, so it makes sense. But yeah, you can get a black metal band sit on any kind of bill really, and it really fits.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I've seen black metal support acts, Cradle of Filth being an extreme example, but they turned up to support Iron Maiden and things like that.
Well, I mean, Pantera back in the day had Satyricon.
Yes.
When they did the UK tour, which is insane to think about it now.
It certainly is.
I'd love to have actually seen that tour, but that's mad.
So you've been away touring a lot with Infernal Sea. Have there been any sort of standout? Have you found yourself on bills like that that'd be quite diverse?
We used to in the past, not so much now. We do end up on shows that've got death metal bands and black metal bands, and that's fine. I think when we were in the early years, we did play a lot of bills where it was hardcore, it was death metal, it was like metalcore and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, the diverse bills kind of work, but sometimes black metal doesn't fit with them style of bands, especially hardcore bands anyway.
Of course.
But festivals is a different breed, isn't it? You can play with literally anybody on a festival. Yeah. And I think that works because that draws a whole different type of people. But if it's a solely extreme metal festival, not so much like today, because this is obviously a big black metal festival, but like a lot smaller ones, they have a lot of mixed varied bills, I think, just to try and get a lot of punters in. Which is good. But you do tend to find it's the crossover is few and far between sometimes. You don't see many metalcore kids into black metal. But some of them are there.
Well, Bleeding Through had a go at it.
They did. And failed.
And there's one of the more interesting bands I heard recently was Frail Body, who have quite a lot of black metal influence, but like in a convergy sort of way.
Okay, nice.
So it's getting round. It's getting all over the place. But as I say, I agree with you. One thing that I can interview two different black metal artists who come under the umbrella of black metal and have very different approaches. Like Hell Butcher's very much about taking it back to its primitive roots, heavy metal roots, and then you have someone like yourselves, who are doing something extremely English with it, and like evoking those Hammer horror vibes and that sort of stuff as well. And then you've got someone like Wolves in the Throne Room tomorrow, who are bringing a whole naturalist kind of nature vibe to it as well. It's such versatile.
Living off the grid as well, aren't they?
Apparently so. I'm going to quiz them on that.
Yeah, which is ace.
Yeah, absolutely. So after today, what are your plans for the summer?
So we've got some stuff. Nothing for the summer. We're going to be a bit quiet in the summer. The plan is to write, write for the next album, and then come winter, we've got some stuff that hasn't been announced yet, but we've got quite a few big key profile stuff coming up that we're just waiting to announce. So
awesome,
which is good.
Awesome stuff. Well, I'm really looking forward to your set later, as I always do. Nice. And I hope you have an amazing one. I've got a little present for James as well, nice. But we're not doing food and arty at the moment. So thanks so much for coming.
Cool, nice one.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Cheers.